ready to confess. We've got to make it easy on them. We can't say to them, what happened, why did you do it, tell me about it. That requires too much effort on their part. So we need to give them a question that they can answer with just one word. And this is the alternative question. In the alternative question, we present to the suspect two reasons for committing the crime, a good reason and a bad reason. Whichever one he chooses, he's admitting he did it. For example, did you plan this thing out, or did it just happen on the spur of the moment? Or, in another case, was this your idea, or did your buddy talk you into it? Whichever side he picks, he's admitting he did it. So let's see how the alternative question was used in the interrogation of Vinny.
And all that was anger speaking. And you know, you put a couple of beers on top of that, and there's a real problem there. Vinny, did you plan this thing, or was it just spur of the moment? You didn't plan it out, did you? Was it just spur of the moment, Vinny? Wasn't it just the spur of the moment, Vinny, and not planned? Just the spur of the moment. You didn't plan this, did you? Just spur of the moment, Vinny, wasn't it? Wasn't that the case?
Once the suspect accepts the alternative, we now have the first admission of guilt, but we need to develop those details. The first thing we want to say is a statement of reinforcement to the suspect to basically congratulate him on confessing.
Vinny, did you plan this thing, or was it just spur of the moment? Was it just spur of the moment, Vinny? You didn't plan it out, did you? Wasn't it just spur of the moment?
I didn't plan nothing.
That's what I thought all along. I'm glad to hear that, because that says a lot about you. That's really important. Now, where did the knife come from? Did a friend give it to you, or did you pick it up off of one of the tables?
I got it from a friend.
You got it from a friend. How much money did you get from Joe?
I took my money and I took his wallet.
Took his money and you took the wallet. Okay. How did you get out of the bar?
I just took out the back door.
And where's that wallet and that money right now?
It's at home.
It's at home. And the knife's there also?
Yes.
After the suspect has verbally confessed and given us details of the crime only the guilty person could know, then we move into step number 9, which is the written confession. We need to take that verbal statement and get it down into a written document. Now, this might be a document the suspect writes in his own handwriting. It could be a statement written by the investigator that the suspect reads and signs. It could be tape recorded or video recorded. Any and all are legally acceptable. In summarizing the 9 steps of interrogation, there's a couple things to review or to emphasize. Step number 2 and step number 7 are the most essential and important steps of the interrogation process. Our number 1 job as interrogators is to give the suspect psychological justification for committing the crime. Number 2, when the suspect is ready to confess, we can't just ask them, what happened? We need to use the alternative question in which we suggest to the suspect a good reason and a bad reason, so that we make it easy for them to accept the good reason and make that first admission of guilt. Summarizing what we've looked at in these 4 tapes, it's important to focus on a couple of points. During the psychology of interviewing, we emphasized a couple of things: separating witnesses from each other to get independent stories, talking to people in a non-accusatory manner, asking open-ended questions. Whenever we interview a witness, a victim, or a suspect, we want to pay careful attention to both the verbal and nonverbal behavior they display, because that can give us a great deal of insight into their possible innocence or probable guilt. And finally, when we interrogate people, the most important job we have as investigators is to give the suspect psychological justification for the commission of the crime. That's going to substantially increase our ability to get confessions from the guilty.